Okay, what's up, guys? This is Eddie Gray. I'm your host. Welcome to In the Mix. If you're new to the channel, I just wanted to say welcome. What are we doing here? What's the purpose? What's the intention? Well, 7 years ago, I got into the world of music and music licensing. My whole life, I had been chasing this dream, and I had been chasing this this flicker of light that we call magic, you know, and all I ever wanted to do was basically live the life, right? Not just talk about it, not just dream about it, not just, you know, pray about it or, you know, like hope that tomorrow would bring it, but actually live it day to day. And so you're in my studio now in North Hollywood. I actually happen to be moving. So next time I catch you guys, next week, I should be in another studio all situated. And, yeah, during that time of growing and learning and practicing vocals and studying music and practicing guitar and, you know, learning the DAW, I basically kind of made a pact with myself, a promise that at some point I would get somewhere. You know, I'd have publishing deals, I'd have companies, you know, seeking out my work, I'd be selling music, I'd be selling my services, I'd have clients in a studio, and then I would start to make a connection with other people and give away the content and make sure that I was there as a resource so that other people could take advantage of that. And so here I am just wanting to share this channel. Who is it for? This channel is for composers, beat makers, producers, any kind of creative human being. If you love music, if you love sound, then this is the channel for you. And why are we spending the time doing this? Well, because we understand that we're living in a new society, we're living in a new world. And you cannot approach music today the way you would approach it, say, 5, 10 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago. And so in order to kind of fill that gap, we've decided to put all of our attention, all of our love, all of our care, all of our respect into what we like to call the modern creative. Now, the objective is to be able to take you from A to point Z. So for some of you, that journey is going to take a lot longer because you don't have any experience. You don't know how to use your DAW. You don't know how to mix. You don't know how to produce. You don't have the foresight or the capability yet in order to get your music to the next level. And for others, you know, all you need is a good 3 months where like you're just hitting it, your momentum is going, you know, you've got a rock solid schedule, you've got the best community around you, you're learning with others, with your peers, with your collaborators, and through that force and through that that grounding and through that, you know, kind of that fostering, you're basically going to take your music to the next level. If you think you're going to do it alone, you're completely mistaken. You need a tribe, you need a group. And in that group, wrong shots, here we go. And in that group, you'll be able to find strength. You'll be able to find enlightening stories or moments of inspiration. And those are the things that get you across. It's not just being active or just being busy. It's a combination of being prepared. It's a combination of, the right time. There's an element of faith and just things lining up the way they need to. So I've been able to do so many great things in the world of music and music licensing, things that I could only dream about. Just recently, I signed a 10-song publishing deal with one of the biggest publishers in New York. And so these are the things that I always dreamed about, right? People reaching out to you, you having your contacts, being able to write music for, we just did some songs for the NFL over at hfmusicacademy.com. And these are the things that I live for. I've done massive ads that you have definitely seen on YouTube. I've had the pleasure of doing a bunch of voiceover work, commercials, jingles, a couple film trailers, a bunch of TV shows, been the head composer on the Kim Kardashian West Justice Project documentary, and a bunch of other beautiful projects. And I've been able to collaborate with some of the world's best musicians and composers. And so then now the attention goes to you, right? How can we serve you? How can we make sure that you're well equipped to be able to break through this world of music? This isn't necessarily just a channel on music licensing, although that is one of our specialties, and we do offer a lot of opportunities over at hfmusicacademy.com. But if you just improve your game from any angle, right? Let's say maybe you're really good at writing beats, but your string orchestration is really not there. Or maybe you orchestrate pretty well. Maybe you write some beautiful strings and melodies and idea generation, but your production is lacking. This is what I'm talking about. We're living in a new time where you have to know how to do kind of everything: engineer, mix, master, sing, perhaps play guitar, right? Play keys, tune vocals. There's a lot there. And so that's why we decided to start this channel. And we're going to get started. Okay, you guys have any questions for me, hit me up on the chat. But yeah, this channel is for creative people alike. So that being said, let's get into a book. We always kind of start off, just kind of warm ourselves up. There's a great book. If you haven't read it yet, it's called Steal Like an Artist. So we're just going to check out just a couple pages here. Let's go. A wonderful flaw about being human, about human beings, rather, is that we're incapable of making perfect copies. Our failure to copy our heroes is where we discover where our own thing lives. This is how we evolve. So, copy your heroes. Examine where you fall short. What's in there that makes you different? That's what you should amplify and transform into your own work. So this is really great because, as creative people, we obviously have heroes. We look up to others. And this is giving you, a nice paradigm or way to look at something, which is, hey, look, we understand that you have to look up to somebody and you have to kind of emulate somebody. But after you go through that process, examine where you fall short, and that's what makes you. And so that's what I also want to do. I want to find the artistry in you because it got lost somewhere. I meet so many people, get so many emails about, I need a second chance, can I make it in music licensing? And I'm just always telling people that's entirely your choice, right? This isn't something that we can control. This is a great platform, and I would say it's phenomenal for anybody that just wants to get in the music industry, not just the music licensing industry, but just the music industry in general. There's great paying jobs, lots of opportunity, a plethora, in fact, and the entry level is manageable and realistic. All right, so let's keep going here. In the end, merely imitating your heroes is not flattering them. Transforming their work into something of your own is how you flatter them. Adding something to the world that only you can add. All right, and in closing here, Kobe Bryant, I have stolen all of these moves from all these great players. I just try to do them proud. The guys who came before, because I learned so much from them. It's all in the name of the game. It's a lot bigger than me. All right, so there you go. That kind of proves my point here that, you know, we're all creative people. We all have a voice. We just have to kind of figure out exactly what that voice is. And if you've forgotten, then this is the place for you. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the lesson of the day. We've been talking about writing drums and creating drums like Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters. Why him? He's a great drummer, and you know, I could find a lot of content online. So I'm going to go ahead and find some more content that we can look at. So go ahead and peep this. And we're just going to look at his style. The last time we were hanging out together, we were basically chatting about how he plays behind the beat. And we talked about parallel compression. And if we use this technique, how we can get our drums to amplify in such an intense manner. All right. You don't have to wait 10 years or whatever to become a phenomenal producer. You can actually start that journey today. So let's go ahead and just take this, the journey into this video. It's about 2 minutes here. And let's just try and dissect the fills that he's playing. So that's all I'm looking for. You know, you can watch it as a fan, but watch it as a student and as a craftsman. Here we go. So he played a flam right there, and I'm not even sure if you guys can hear this. You probably can't, but either way, you can see this video on your own. He played a flam right there. I know this guy is full of the flams, so we're gonna take that into account. Okay, let's keep going. And what do I mean when I say flam? He's playing one snare, and then he's playing that snare again with the other hand, but he's doing a kind of juxtapose so that they're right side by side. So rather than just you're hearing two, which is right, so that kind of thing. All right, let me go ahead and keep playing. All right, so that right there, really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let's keep that in the back of our heads. All right, listen to that cymbal kind of feel. He kind of hit the right cymbals, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. And he did that on the 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's keep going here. So then that snare hit 1, 2, really simple. He really doesn't overplay. In fact, he is just so on, you know, like in the feel, in the groove, in the pocket. It's amazing, and I'm always blown away at how hard he's just smacking the drum set. Let's keep going. Super natural, not a lot of compression. Really no compression on the close mics. Compress the rooms a little bit.
A lot of times it's just a matter of if it's a small little room, you don't really want to bash. Luckily here in our big old 606 room.
So a lot of very simple fills. Now, obviously, this may have something to do with the fact that this is the kind of song that he's playing. So it's good to do research extensively. Don't just watch one song, one video. That's what we're going to do now. But if you're studying or emulating some of your heroes, whether it be a guitar player, whether it be a drummer, whether it be a singer, a songwriter, producer, watch more content. Read as much as you can. Be a sponge. And then apply. Here we go. So a big part of his sound is how hard he plays, obviously. Okay, let's keep going. So a lot of very basic fills. All right, so that's kind of the name of the game. Let's watch a couple more seconds, then we'll go back into the DAW and start writing some drums. Here we go.
You're lucky if you had an 8-track, or 4-track.
Lots of hi-hats opening and closing. Again, very simple. Fills are all simple. All right, so I think I'm good in terms of just having this information. So let's move over to Logic. Here we go. I'm gonna close that out, and let's start writing some drums in the spirit of Taylor Hawkins. So I got this track here, and I wrote it a couple weeks ago on the feed on the cast, and we were basically writing live loops, but with rock music. It's one thing to write this style of music with hip hop and EDM, everything's kind of on the downbeat, but with rock music, it's unique in that you got an upbeat. There's a lot of like polyphony and different things like that. So let's play a bit, and then let's start writing, and then after that we'll treat the drums, we'll compress the overheads, some of the room mics, just to get that fat, beefy drum sound. Here we go. Okay, so again, going back to Taylor Hawkins, there is the first flam, because that's something that he would do. So let's look at that. It's basically one cymbal hit right next to the other. Now you may be asking, hey, why are the MIDI notes not on the grid? That was intentional. The last video, I talked to you about how his style of playing is very kind of behind the beat. And that's a stylistic thing. That's just the way that, his groove fits the song. Some guys are really about being on the beat. Some guys are ahead of the beat, especially those in like punk rock and heavy metal. But the way that this gentleman plays is a little bit behind the beat. So that's what we're going to keep everything this way. But again, you'll see that the flam is 1, 2. Okay. Velocity is 127, the highest that it can go. Let's take a listen. Okay, so we probably shouldn't play that hi-hat, because think of it realistically, if both of his hands are playing the snare or the flam, we can't, technically we can't do this. I mean, we can because of technology, but we should probably allow realism to play a part here, right? We want it to be authentic. We want it to be real. All right, cool. So dig that. That sounds realistic to me. I'm going to show you a really cool trick to make this even sound beefier, but for now, this is a good draft. So let's keep listening to the part by itself. All right, so a lot of what I heard too was like opening hi-hats and stuff like that. So let's start implementing that in the second go around here. So. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close or mute this one here. And so what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to open the hi-hat without being choked. So maybe I'll do this actually, yeah. So because what happens is I have a hi-hat here. See how we're playing it open? Well, if I play this one, then it's going to choke that one, so you're not going to really hear the full extent of this one. All right, so let's see what this sounds like. Okay, and something else that we can do just in general is take the closed hi-hats and mute them all and just get the big open hi-hat sound. So you go from playing this dynamic pattern. Take a listen. So hold on, not how I envisioned it. 1 second, hold on. Yeah, so basically I'm going to take this open hi-hat, not that one, this one. All right, sweet. So let's open this up, 127 MIDI. Let's see what this sounds like. And I might even turn off this hi-hat as well, because I've got the hi-hat foot close. Again, going back to the physics of drumming. And then here's the hi-hat close. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so we need this one open. All right, let's see what this sounds like. No, I'm thinking like, you know, just playing it straight up. Let's see what this sounds like. No. I'm gonna go ahead and take this back. Want a big open hi-hat sound. I may have to just create this on the spot. Hold on. All right, hold on. Okay, hold on. You know what? Just to get the timing to be completely on point, I'm gonna open up the toolbar, Control Option Command T. So now I've got the note repeat function. Where is it on my screen? It must be on my. I don't see it. Hold on. I have a second monitor over here. All right, let's drag it in. So there it is right there. Now, why would I use this and not just record? Well, number one, it's going to do a lot of the work for me. Now, we're not trying to play 16th notes. I think quarter notes will do just fine. Yeah. And then we'll play with the velocity in a second here. But let's just get this on paper. Here we go. That's right. I forgot that it was a drummer. All right, cool. So I was using a drummer track, and the thing with that is that it doesn't actually record MIDI. It just generates patterns. Even though we have MIDI, that's simply because we can convert the MIDI pattern into, the drummer pattern into a MIDI pattern. So anyway, we're here. We're going to record this part in. Got everything I need. Okay, just why does it sound different now? That's funny. Oh, you know what it is? It's the treatment. So on this track, I probably have some type of, because it sounds so different. All right, so let me just see what is going on. Why does it sound so different? Overheads, no, all this looks pretty much the same. The room. All right, well, this got to, you know what? I'm going to have to go back because this is going somewhere where I didn't want it to go. So let's go back into here and we're just going to draw it out. Again, going back to this concept of the modern creative, we face new challenges. It's not like in the past, right? We have to kind of be able to handle anything technically. We have to be able to hack it. And so this is another reason why I started this, is because I started seeing that there were new problems that we had to tackle, and really there wasn't like a space for it, or the conversation wasn't had yet. And so I thought, man, someone's got to do something. It'd be great if we can, talk about the modern challenges, and how to beat them and how to meet them. So, okay, let me see here. Let me see what this sounds like. All right, let's go to 127. Okay, so this pattern is different than this one. Take a listen. All right, so yeah, things are getting a little bit louder. Instead of the hi-hat closed, wait, not the whole thing. One sec. Let's see, from here to here. All right, now I've selected all of those, and I'm gonna hold Option and then bring up velocity. Why didn't I just do it regular? Because usually they have an offset. You see how I'm dragging it to the right and then it's just like resetting back to 107? That's because the MIDI velocity on these specific MIDI events differ. Some of them are at 108, some of them are at 115, 127. And so when they differ, there's an offset. And so when I increase the value, they're all changing by, different values. And so if you want to bypass that and make them uniform, Option, drag up. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, I like it. And I just want to rock that hi-hat open. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so let's change up the variety of the hi-hat pattern. Let's take it to 118, see what that sounds like. Okay, I like it. Now I'm going to go into functions, and I'm going to go into MIDI transform, and we're going to randomize the velocity. All right, so let's see what this sounds. And we could, there's other options there as well, but I think I'm going to keep it here. So I'm only going to change up from, let's say, 122 up to 111. Let's see what the difference is and how that sounds in general. All right, so I should have a good amount of variety here. Let's see. Okay, it's still a little too loud, but that's kind of the idea, is that it sounds a little, it has some variety. So here, check it out. Now we got another trick. So that's a nice feature there, MIDI transform. Go ahead and dig into it. Control Command accesses the velocity tool. We can also just come up into the cursor tools up here and access it, but why not do it if I have a keyboard modifier, right? So Control Command, I'm going to drag this down. All right, so then now I've taken the entire value and I've brought it down just a little bit so that the hi-hat comes in and it's not too forceful. Okay, so there was a fill there that I don't think a drummer like Taylor Hawkins would make. Not ever, but just in general. The guy basically only plays fills from what I've seen, and I'm not talking about his drum solos because that's a whole nother conversation. But you see this fill right here? Here, listen to this. Like, I don't see him playing that, especially in the middle of the beat. So super important that, you know, we're emulating his style. I usually hear him perform some rolls or whatever kind of at the end of the phrases. And if he does something in the middle, it's really succinct. So let's take these toms out because that's not really what would happen. And let's take a listen. Okay, so that right there, quintessential. I mean, nailed it. Let's look at that fill. And sometimes, you know, when we look at or when we hear these things, they sound way more complicated than they actually are. And so a big part of what I'm up to here, my aim is to demystify a lot of these concepts, whether it be, you know, melody, harmony, song arrangement, what have you. So here, you got the pattern going into this drum fill. Let's play it and then we will analyze it. That sounds amazing. All right, cool. So here is the mid tom. So they first start out by playing the snare and the tom at the same time. Then there's kind of this rapid fire snare, tom, and of course they're playing different toms, and then the low tom, and then back to the mid tom. Now when you get to that mid tom, they also hit snare. So there's a lot of action going on here. And then you got the kick here, just giving it some emphasis. Take a listen. Okay, for those of us that still kind of need some more time to register, here's a great learning technique. I'm going to open up something called Verispeed. Have you heard of it? Verispeed? So Verispeed is really interesting in that it allows a Logic user, and I'm sure there's an equivalent for everybody else. This is not uniquely a Logic Pro channel. This is just a music production channel. For those of you that want to monetize your music, want to take your game to the next level. If you're seasoned or, you know, just a mega talent and you're ready to take your careers to the next level, perfect channel. For those of you that are beginners and you just kind of want to get yourself ready, get yourself prepared, again, this is the right channel. We're covering all bases here, okay? Just want to make sure you guys get it. And if you're just watching, you're just coming on, my name's Eddie Gray. What's going on? We're here to help creative people fulfill their dreams, their potential, their aspirations, and finally get paid for what it is they love to do. I wish I had this channel when I had first started. I wish I had a resource like this where there was somebody giving you real world information that actually works. If you guys know who I am, I've worked with some of the biggest publishers in the game, television stations. I've been blessed to be able to, build a client base, just a lot of great stuff going on. And in an effort to stay grateful and stay humble, want to make sure we keep giving out the information. If you want a free course, I talk about this usually somewhere in the middle of the cast, but we have a great course. It's got over 3,700 downloads at this point. It's called How to Maximize Your Desktop and Laptop CPU Performance. If you want that course, go ahead and email support@hfmusicacademy.com, support@hfmusicacademy.com, and we'll give you that course free of charge. Consider it a gift. All right. So then let's use Verispeed, and I'm going to slow down the song a little bit. So take a listen. Okay, so then now you see how it's a little bit more digestible. It's not as confusing. Let me go and slow it down more. Take a listen. So let's analyze just the first two parts. All right, hold on. So these two. There's a snare. Okay, listen. And you know what? I'm going to mute these just for the time being because I really just want you to hear the fill. Here we go. Okay, so it's da-da and then two toms. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then after the two toms, we got 1, 2 more toms. So it's da-da-da-da, right? So snare, 4 toms. Take a listen. Right? And then finally at the end of the process, 2 snares, and then there's some accented kicks and stuff. But here, hold on. And again, this is something that Taylor Hawkins would absolutely play, or some variation of it, and obviously it would sound on point. The guy's skills are ridiculous. Here we go. All right, so you don't have to get scared or put these guys on a pedestal or anything like that. Sometimes you just got to practice slowly. I'm really big on the metronome. I'm really big on slowing things down. On the channel, we've analyzed music live. I think we've since now taken those recordings and put it on the HF Music Academy website, simply because it's just easy with all the restrictions and all the YouTube content stuff going on. And so and we'll be doing a lot more of that, by the way. We're going to be analyzing a ton of stuff. There's so much great content coming soon. Super happy to be here with you. If you have any questions, hit me up on the chat. But basically, this is how I want you to learn, okay? If you're miles away from your dream at the moment and you really want to know what it takes, you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to take the time. I don't care if it's 1 hour a day. I don't care if it's just the weekends. But for now, until you become more capable, you start trusting yourself, you really start to invest in yourself as a creative person, this is the work, right? You don't want to ruin a potential relationship if your music is not there. Now, inversely, if you actually are ready and you're just holding yourself back because all you do is spend time learning, then this also is not the answer. It's a little bit of both, right? At some point, we have to graduate from just being a learner, being committed to learning something, and then at some point we have to go ahead and apply, and then that becomes a new kind of learning. Listen, I am the most meticulous person when it comes to learning. I mean, you can watch the YouTube channel. We do like manual read-throughs. We've done a couple already. Damage. We've done Ego Bites. What's the name of that great program? I'm sorry, Sugar Bites, Egoist. Just mix that up there. And then we've done the Stradivari violin by Native Instruments, which is absolutely incredible. My favorite instruments. And so I get that you have to spend a lot of time learning, but where are you in that continuum? Are you just a pure beginner and you're not ready to start submitting your music? You're not ready to start collaborating with other people. You're not ready to really go out there and get it and monetize your music. That's okay. If that's the case, spend time learning, spend time in collaboration with others, hire a mentor, be in a good solid group so you can keep growing and growing. I've taken a lot of people up to this point and helped them go from being a beginner into now being a professional and conducting themselves like a professional, and also making sure that their music is top notch so that when it does get in the music library, and I've got a lot of connections, so I've been able to bring in some of my team, when it does get in the library, it's there. The quality is there. There is no questioning what is going on with that music. That's where I want you. Okay. And you can get there. I've seen people do it. You can talk to various members of the academy yourself. Okay. So if you're already seasoned and you're amazing and the only thing holding you back is you, then it's time to get to work. Start, just get that ego out of the way, get that negativity out of the way, and then move forward, because there's just so many opportunities out there. If you're just willing to take it, you got to grab it. Just today I was submitting my music to another company. I'm always on this grind. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if I have to find another opportunity, but I have done this time and time and time and time again. So keep working and keep evolving and just stay in the fight. All right. So let's get away from Verispeed, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm going to turn it off now, but hopefully you understand that fill and how that works. So then now here we have this kind of pre-chorus, or it's a bit of a tease, but here, take a listen. Okay, so obviously the drums stop. So drummer, the way it works is that all you have to do to populate the region is just hit that small plus button. I mean, Logic is amazing. You got to admit. No DAW can really do what it does. Obviously, each DAW is unique and special in its own right. But for what you get, right, you pay a nominal fee, and there's just so much there. We're covering so much at the Academy. We just finished covering the step sequencer at length. So many great things. And so let's go ahead and check out this drummer pattern. So if we just analyze it without listening, we can see clearly that the drummer has chosen a hi-hat, snare, and kick pattern. Pretty standard. Let's choose the ride. If you listen to Taylor Hawkins play, I mean, he completely takes advantage of the ride. So let's go ahead and listen to this transition. Okay, cool. So then that actually works nicely. Let me see. Let me listen to that again. They took away my cymbal hit. Why is that? I don't know. Let me listen to this pattern now. Hold on. So this already tells me that this is an open crash cymbal. Did you see the size of the I guess you can call this a transient. Here, look, I went from that to this. Let's see if I'm right. All right, cool. This looks like a ride. Let's see. All right, that's something Taylor Hawkins would play. Let's check it out. Okay, I dig it. I don't like the fact that we have one super busy roll on top of another. So what I'm going to do here is pick one. I think I'll make this one simple, but let's double check. Yeah, that's too much busyness, right? So I'm going to go ahead and convert this drummer region, and we're going to go convert to MIDI. So it's still a drummer track, except now we're just using another format, if you will. All right, so I'm going to double click on this MIDI region, and let's go ahead and analyze this ridiculous fast fill. Let's see. All right, so again, this is just too much. So what I'm going to do is just hack it a little bit, right? Your blood supply in this new market of music production is being able to hack. So what did I just do right there? I basically created a marquee selection using my secondary tool inside of Logic. I held Command, created the marquee selection, and then I hit Command R in order to duplicate that MIDI event region. And so then now what ends up happening is I have two of these regions. All right, let's go ahead and hear it back in solo. And by the way, if you don't want to hit S to solo, if you just click on this small play button right there, now all of a sudden we can solo without necessarily hitting the appropriate key command. Let's go. All right, so that's giving me that. Let's check this one out. Okay, so we know we got a fill to fill on, no pun intended. And I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. Let's I'm gonna join these actually. I'm gonna hit J, and so now that becomes one region. Hit P, like Paul. Let's go. All right, cool. So then what I'll do here, yeah. I think, is that a kick? Okay, that's another kick. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do like a real standard 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. You know, he does a lot of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold Option as I drag this over. Now you can eyeball this, but if you're more methodical and precise, I would not eyeball it. Now, if Taylor Hawkins is playing these fills, he's probably not going to be playing other things. So we're going to delete that. And we've got 2 kicks. Oh, wait, that's not a kick. Yeah, I guess I want 2 kicks. So I'm going to go, and I may just take these off, but let's check it out. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can totally see him doing that, and even just something slower, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to go with this for now. For fun, I'm going to take off that one, Control M. Now, why mute instead of just deleting? Why mute instead of just deleting? Why don't we just delete it? We've already talked about this. If you delete it, you now do not have access to it unless you hit Command Z. Of course, you can undo it. But generally speaking, it's good if you're just trying out an idea. Perhaps you just want to keep it kind of, you know, in the back burner. You want to just keep it there, kind of behind the curtains, and then maybe later on it becomes usable, or you know, you can draw inspiration from it later. But the idea is that you're basically, you know, holding the idea kind of in the background just in case you need it. Here we go. Let me see. I'm just curious now what happens if I start moving these around. So just give me a sec. I'm gonna move let's go there. Kind of like it. Let me go here. I kind of like this one. Remember, how I'm doing this is I'm nudging them. How do you nudge something? You hold Option and then you use your arrow keys left, right. Again, find this for your DAW. This isn't a Logic Pro thing. And so I'm just choosing the appropriate time measurement, if you will, or musical time value. In this case, division seems to fit the bill. Let's go. I'm gonna take it. Sounds good to me. Sounds interesting. I'm gonna leave a little bit of pause here, and then let's continue on with this process. All right, going back to that fill again. This is just a drummer region. We're not going to use the toms, so let's get away from all that. In fact, I should probably just copy the pattern over again, just like I did before. So here I'm creating a marquee selection again. Which value am I using? I'm under beat. My recommendation, I teach this methodology all over the world. I just sold my curriculum to a company called Learning Continuum, who's an Apple training provider. And so the system that I like the best, that I believe works for most people in most places. Again, I've taught people from Brazil, from Sweden, from Russia, from Switzerland, all sorts of places. And I find that this system is the most accurate and also the most simple. And I'm all about results, but being very, you know, simple oriented. like solution driven, just simple, right? How can I get my music where I need it to get to so I can make it, so I can make some bread and I can, move forward. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and copy this pattern. Let's take a listen. Okay, hold on. Well, that was not correct. Let's go out. I guess we'll do. That should be it right there. Yeah. Okay. Except I don't want another crash cymbal at the beginning of the phrase, right? So we're going to take that out. In fact, Control M to unmute. Let's just bring it back down. Okay. So this looks good. This feels good to me. I'll get this part done and then we'll start treating the drums. Yeah. All right, cool. If you have any questions, hit me up, Eddie Gray. So nice to be with you guys. What a pleasure. What a delight to be able to talk about music, to be able to focus on the things we love. I mean, I don't take this for granted. Trust me. I wasn't always doing this, so I am like enjoying it. I'm like just extracting as much as I can. I can't even tell you. I still remember, the grind and what that was like. So always believe, keep going. So this is good. I'm going to do a quick fill at the end of the second region. So in order to play from here, from this region, I don't have to move the mouse or do anything like that. Just hit shift play and now you're playing from selection. Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity for a fill. My snare is there. So I'm gonna rock with da, 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 or even just simple. Let me just see what this sounds like. Hold on. That could be it, but I would see him doing more like this. Again, it could even be faster. It could even be this kind of thing. Let me solo that so you understand what's going on here. So yeah, either this, but really more, I would see him doing something like this. And again, it doesn't really matter. It's all taste, and we're just using this as an opportunity to learn. But yeah, watch your favorite players, saxophonists, DJs, produce, whatever. Get into it. Get into their mindset. Get into their philosophy. Get into their drive. Watch them as they play. What zone are they in? What are they feeling right now? Right? Why get up on the stage? Why continue the work? Right? They're obviously compelled. There's something driving us forward. So if you feel compelled to move forward, then get yours. Move forward. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm just thinking if I should hit a tom with it right here. This is a very yeah, we'll just do that. It just sounds nice to have a snare and a tom at the same time. Now, if you're of the mind to, make sure that they're kind of not perfectly in line so you can distinguish, this is not a bad idea. Always a good thing to do, but you can also line them up. Different sound, but here we go. Okay, let's finish off the phrase. Here we go. What happened here? I heard like a silly tom thing. Nah, we're not doing this. Bring it down. Control M, bring it down. Now I'm going to move it over to the right. So in order to do that, I'm going to make sure I've got division selected right here. And then option right arrow key. All right, let's check this out. Okay, yeah, that right there. Look, it was a mistake. I ain't gonna lie. All right, but it was done in such a way where he would do something like that. He has this really fun way of playing in a very what's the word I'm looking for? Not polyphonic, but harmonically. No, not harmonically. Rhythmically complex. There's a word for it in drums. Polyrhythms. Thank you. And so this is like the way that he kind of hits in between the various beats. Check it out. All right, cool. I'm just going to make it quieter, but I dig it. Okay, now we already kind of did the work over here. Do you remember? So I'm going to option drag it. Check it out. Whoa, I didn't realize that so much had gone wrong there. Hold on, let me check this out. That seems like a mistake or something. I don't remember doing all that. It's cool. I'm going to rectify it right now. Let's see what happened. Looks like some of these hi-hats got off place. Let's unmute those. Hang tight. All right, and to be clear, I wouldn't see the drummer stopping here, so I'm just copying these over. How am I doing that? Again, snap to grid or nudge, and you option drag it over. I'm doing it with precision. This is how I'm able to work quickly, my friends. Some people will eyeball this, but I'm telling you, it especially for new people that really want to get a system down. And when you systematize something, it basically becomes autonomous, automatic, and then it becomes easy. And that's what I want for you. Whether you're working the DAW, Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton, Reaper, or you're working on your production skills, you still need systems for all of these various aspects. Mastering, right? There's systems that you can hold in place, and then once you have those systems, then you could just be productive. I mean, that's what it's all about. Productivity, right? Here we go. All right, how would we get into this, Phil? Let me listen. Maybe mute this one. I could be wrong, but let's check it out. I don't like that it just stops there. It just feels so random. So let me take these out. Hold on. I definitely dig that. On top of this, I'm going to add like a quick crash right here, like a... I don't know if that's the one. He's kind of hitting the ride like a cymbal. But the idea is that when you watch Taylor Hawkins play, he very much kind of uses kind of that double hit cymbal approach, or just one, or kind of in between his hits. So this is a nice way to emulate that. Okay, it works. It's just not loud enough. So let me go... Let's try it. Now I just get curious if it'll work here. Hold on. So again, going back to that video that so you see how I'm thinking about this in terms of his approach, and why would you do this? Why not just come up with the ideas on your own? Because this is a craft. All right, this is something that is a life discipline that you will continue to grow upon, and you'll be able to continue to evolve over time, right? As the genres change and the players change and the people change, you'll be able to kind of take information from the various aspects of the game at that time. And so this is a unique opportunity for you to become well-rounded, to become valuable, to have a knowledge base like no other. All right. And so this is why we spend time working on the craft, so that you stay relevant over time, and so that basically you can handle any application. Guys, I make music for TV, all genres, literally. I just made a hip hop song kind of the week before last, went to a big publisher in New York. This week, again, signed a new contract with a new company, and I've done two. Today, the third song is almost done, but this is in the style of dramedy, right? And so done orchestration songs, been able to get into tension music, action music, all sorts of stuff. So it's not about talent, it's about your skill set, and it's about your ability to move forward and be consistent with the practice. All right, so going back to that video, he would hit one cymbal and then hit another. And I kind of saw that more than once. So I'm going to go ahead and try and find another cymbal. Where's crash right? I see it up here. So I'm going to hit Shift Option, get that all the way up there. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Hold on. Okay, I'm just trying to see if that would be a realistic move. But yeah, sounds good to me, looks good to me. Let's continue on, shall we? Here we go. All right, now bear in mind, there's a chorus coming up somewhere over here. So why don't I take the properties of this and move it over here? We're talking workflow, guys, right? If you know your stuff, you don't have to spend that much on this channel. You've seen me perhaps get hampered for a second, or maybe like something has happened, and then what ends up happening? I'll find another solution. I'll find another way. It's happened on more than one occasion, and it will continue to happen because that's the nature of this world. If you're in music production today and you're in the box predominantly, trust me, you're gonna have to find solutions. And so that's why we're here, guys. We're here to make sure you guys get across. All right, so why not take this, the idea, and then shift it over here so I don't have to recreate this thing all over again, right? So let's check this this strategy out. It may work, may not, but either way. So let's listen to this. Okay, so they completely flipped my pattern. So that sucks. Let me hit Command Z and let's listen to my pattern again. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to just swing it over. I'll try one more thing. Convert to drummer region. I can always hit Command Z. And I'm looking at their pattern. Hold on. Okay, so another approach, which is interesting, is keep the MIDI and then go over here and populate. So I'm going to control click here, and then I can also just populate with drummer regions. But if I do that, it populates everything. And so that's a little bit messy. I'm just going to go kind of piece by piece. So I'm going to click on that. This preset number 2 for the hi-hat seems to work out pretty well. I don't want a lot of fills, so I'm going to go ahead and back off there. Let's see what this sounds like. Up here to the right. I love this. Fantastic. Converts to MIDI region. Now let's make it our own. I think the fills were all on point. Just maybe the last one, I'm going to simplify it, okay? So I'm going to shift click to move the playhead over. And let's see. What does this sound like? I just want boom, 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 boom. I'm not going to do all the fancy stuff in between. So maybe take out that guy. Symbol. Let's listen real quick. Why is there like this tom fill? Is that these two? Hold on. I'm wondering if I could use that one. One sec. Sounds a little weird. Why is that? Yeah, I'll take that. That's the lowest tom. What happens if I raise up the velocity? Does the sample sound any different? Let's check it out. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, cool. So then now we get into the middle 8 or the bridge of this specific song. So again, we did all this live. If you want to see how we recorded the guitars, actually the workflow was inside of the loop browser, which is pretty fascinating to record rock music in there. But it was cool, worked out. And then now we're getting to this next part. Hold on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And I just want the snare and the kick, no hi-hats. So let's take a listen here. Okay, this sounds okay, but hold on, let me okay, so I actually like this. This pattern's pretty cool. And so I just want to maybe add some toms. See how that goes. All right, I like this a lot. I'm gonna Command D that. Whoa, I just want just this one region. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Okay, so for this section here, I'm gonna see if I can add the cymbals, but not pattern 1. I want not pattern 2 rather. I want some crashes. Let's see if this works. Okay, I dig it. I just need some fills at the end. Here we go. Not fancy enough. I need something fancy. I just don't see Taylor Hawkins playing that fill. Let's keep on. Nah, I don't believe it. Hit S. Let's see. Kinda. Convert to MIDI region. Let me just make sure. Okay, cool. And then let's listen to this in solo. How do I know if something's solo? This is interesting, right? Because I've got my screen set up here in such a way where I can't see anything in the tracks area. So if I hit S, you're kind of seeing that the LCD screen is now kind of in yellow, and so that's one indication. The regions have been dimmed out, so that's another indication. So there's a couple things that you can look for. Let me get myself back. All right, let's take a listen. Here we go. I am in the wrong spot. Hold on. Let me catch up to myself. This is literally a feature called catch, so I'm just catching the playhead. Let's go. And then I'm going to take... Is that a tom? What is this? Yeah, no, we don't need this tom. This actually works quite nicely. Yep. I will take it. And then we'll just repeat the hook, which I believe is right here. One sec. Oh, not that one. Hold on. All right, let me bring this over. Command D. Let's go. Okay, that works. To be honest, I don't even know if we need 2 of these. I could probably just do with 1. Make the song a little bit shorter. Let me just listen to that real quick. I'll probably cut it later, but for now I'm going to leave it as is. But there is a couple things I want to change. Hold on. Hold on. So basically need a louder crash cymbal. And I'm going to change the pattern so it simplifies here. So rather than being 1 E and a 2 E and a, here, you can listen real quick. I'm going to make the whole thing louder. So there's an offset. You can see all the various colors. All right. And then when I do that, I'm going to hold Option to make sure I lock in the offset. But the idea is to basically turn off every other MIDI note. So I'm just kind of moving and grooving here. Just kind of getting every single odd one out. And then what that's going to do is it's going to accentuate this change. Because there's a bit of a changer now that we're transitioning to kind of the end of the song. Okay, and then if you wanted to, we can even use the bell. So there's like a part of the ride that sounds very high pitched. Check it out. That part right there. Check it out. And let me just show you the contrast between this section. All right, so then now in sequence, here we go. Man, you gotta love it. It doesn't have to be hard, team. It doesn't have to be hard. Whoever put that idea out, you know, it was the wrong idea. So just get on game, level up, get your DAW straight, straighten out your mixing and mastering skills. Just learn. You know, like this morning I had a session with a teacher. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still 7 years in the game. And to be honest, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I'm just talking about production. I've been playing guitar since I was a kid. And I'm still learning. I'm still hungry. I'm eager. I want to know more. I want to know everything about it. You know, I always think about athletes, you know, the post game, the elbow, the 3-point shot. Like you have to be able to kind of hit it from all angles. Right. And so don't just settle with being good at 1 or 2 or 3 things, right? Be a consummate professional. And even if you're just aware, you have a strong knowledge base, maybe you don't know how to apply it exactly, but when the time comes and somebody says, hey, I'll pay you $500, pay you $600 to tune my vocals, you're like, got you. I know exactly what to do. I've already read upon it. I watched Eddie Gray's video on tuning vocals. I got my community. I can access this collaborator and ask him what his workflow is like. And now you can attack. All right. So let's finish off here. I'm going to show you guys how to basically play with the overheads, room mics, perhaps. This is all MIDI. So this is kind of all, you know, pre-configured, pre-set up, but still, very valid if you want to get authentic, realistic drums. All right, let's get into it. So I'll write the rest of this on my own. But man, we are on point. We are like right there. Super proud, super happy. Let me just get this ending locked in. Yeah. So I'll fix the rest of this. We can probably convert this to MIDI now. Why not? Okay, so let's look at the overheads. Hit I to open up the inspector. What are some things that we can do? What's up, guys? Good. Thank you for the kind messages. Appreciate you guys. Much love. We're here every Monday, every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Central Time. If you love the content, go ahead and like, subscribe. We're here for you. We have a bunch of great stuff coming at you. I'm going to do a mic review as soon as I'm done here. I got commissioned to review a mic, and got jobs lined up, finishing up a publishing deal, and I just want to show others how they can find their road, how they could find their path. There isn't a manual for this. There's no roadmap. Nobody has actually done this before, and I have. And so I just kind of want to make sure that I provide access, that I provide useful information, practical information that's not going to take 15, 20 years to learn. You know, if you want to become an engineer or producer right now, if you go the traditional route, if you go the standardized educational route, it's going to take you 10 years minimum. My assistant, who's not here right now, guy's been cranking for years in school, finally got out, and he's awesome. He's better for it, but that's not everybody's path, right? Some of us, we have to find an alternate route. We got to find the back door in, and so that's what we're providing here. Also at hfmusicacademy.com. So overheads, we want to compress them. And why do we want to do that? Because they sound awesome when they're compressed. So I'm going to use an FET. All right. These compressors are known for their fast attack. They smash. Basically, like the equivalent is like Hulk smash. That's what I use this for. And I actually have a preset called Hulk smash. I don't think it's in this computer though. But here we go. Let's listen to the overheads compressed. Here we go. So you can see that without it, it just sounds kind of bland and simple, which is good for some styles of music, but not this one. So here's with it. Cool. And then here's without it. So we want the juice, all right? We want it to be crazy, you know, turned up. We want it to be like wild, especially for a song like this. Now I may blend it in, right? It doesn't have to be madness the whole time through. I may blend it in, but let's check it out. So as it plays, I'm going to bypass it so you understand the intensity. All right, so this is part of the realism of sounding like a drummer, like a Taylor Hawkins, having that real dynamic, big, open, professional sound, compressing the overheads. Then now we're going to take the room mics and we're going to do something similar. Different ways to do this, but I'm going to take the same compressor. I'm going to hold shift, hit X to access the mixer. It's a little bit easier to look at the tracks in this view. I'm going to hold option and then just drag this one over. So I've got a different setting here, but the idea is the same. We're going to compress the daylights out of the overheads and the small room or the room mics. Here we go. Okay, so now last thing here in closing is that if you're in fact, let me line up all these compressors. If your attack is really open, it's going to heavily affect the sound. Where's room B? One sec. You got room B right here. Okay, cool. So then voila, room A, room. Okay, good. I see them all. I see you guys. So if I open up the attack, it's going to sound very different. So one philosophy, one approach, one way that you can do this is you can open up the attack and it's going to sound very loud and intense. And this could be dynamic and useful. But in this case, I want to basically close the compressor. So it's compressing right away. Nothing's coming through the signal. It's just compressing right away. Now check out this sound. I'm going to open it as well so you can understand my viewpoint here. Okay, so let's just take a quick A/B of what happens when I take out those compressors. All right, remember this is on the overhead and the room mic. So I'm going to go ahead and just bypass them really quick. I'll just do that right here. Here we go. All right, that hi-hat got really loud right there, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit as well. Let's see what this sounds like. All right, good. And then just on a group level, I'm going to take this compressor, which I'm using. It looks like the DBX160 emulation. And instead of doing that, I'm going to use the VCA, so I get something a little softer. Let me listen. All right, hold on. Let me just fix that fill, and then we'll call it a day. You got any final questions? Hit me up. Otherwise, we'll wrap up here. There was something that happened. This idea sounded really good. There's something I could fill in here. There's like too much space or something. Hold on. Maybe it's just a quick snare. Hold on. Yeah, I could see Taylor Hawkins do something like that. Hold on. All right. Thank you guys very much for another great session. Super pumped to be here. Got a lot of great stuff coming. This October, I got so much content for you. You guys better be ready to ingest it. Again, if you don't know who I am, you will. My name's Eddie Gray, and I'm out here on a mission to help and contribute to the lives of the world of the creative people that are everywhere, right? Mom's basement, New York apartment, house in the Midwest, whatever. It doesn't matter. We all share the same trait, the same characteristics of just loving music and wanting to be a part of it every single natural day, every single waking moment. And so with that being said, if you guys like the channel, go ahead, please refer someone. That's all we ask, right? We don't ask for any sources, resources, money for this channel. We just want to make sure that we contribute to the lives of creatives. But if you do know somebody, perhaps it's a friend, a sister, a brother, a cousin, and they're ready to take their music production to the next level, and they haven't been able to connect with people who've been doing this for like 50 years. You got to remember, I've only been doing this effectively for 7 years. And in that time, I've been able to create methodologies and curriculums that have helped people. I'm a very intense, kind of extreme guy. If you guys go through the YouTube channel, you'll see what I mean. And once I want something, I figure out how to get it. Right, to the exclusion of everything else. I just kind of put everything aside and make sure I get what I want. All right, so I want nothing more for you to live your life and live your dreams and be fully self-expressed and realize your musical vision and get paid because you're worth it. Your time, your music is worth it. And so that's the message. If you get anything from this channel, if you get anything from today's session, is your music is worth it. You are worth it, and I'm going to help you get there. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate all the great comments. Thank you. Much love from Russia. I love you guys. Keep pushing, keep evolving, keep growing, and keep your frequency high. We'll see you guys later. Celebrate, celebrate. All right, take good care of yourself. I'll see you Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Central Time. Cheers. Go.